Welcome back, ninjas. Today we'll dig into one of JavaScript's core concepts, prototypes and prototypal inheritance. Let's go. First, we'll explain what a prototype is and how the prototype chain works, the mental model you need before we type any code. JavaScript is a prototype-based language. Each object can link to another object, its prototype. When you access a property, JS looks at the object first. If not found, it follows the prototype link, and continues up the chain until it finds the property or reaches null. That chain is the prototype chain. Now, we'll create a parent object with a method and a child that delegates to it using Object.create. You'll see how calling a method on the child works via its prototype. We made parent with say hi. Child delegates to parent. Child.sayHi works because JS finds say hi on the prototype. HasOwn property is false because the method lives on the prototype. Use Object.getPrototypeOf to inspect the link. Next, we'll show constructor functions and putting shared methods on constructor.prototype. This is the classic memory-efficient pattern for many instances. Person.prototype.greet is shared, so a.greet == b.greet is true. That's efficient, one function object, many instances. Now we'll inspect built-in types, arrays and objects to show where standard methods live on prototypes. ARR map comes from array.prototype. Array.prototype delegates to object.prototype, and object.prototype__proto__ is null. That's the top. In this example we'll show how instance properties can shadow prototype properties and how overriding works. Assigning inst value created an own property, it shadows proto.value. You can override methods per instance, though prototype level overrides are often preferable. Next we'll demonstrate instance if is prototype of, and a constructor property so you can test relationships in the chain. Instance of checks whether the prototype chain includes animal.prototype. Constructor usually points back to the function but can be modified. Don't rely on it for core logic. Here we'll show Object.create the clean way to set prototypes and demonstrate Object.setPrototypeOf with a performance warning. Object.create, proto, creates a new object whose prototype is proto. Object.setPrototypeOf, can change an object's prototype at runtime but can be slow. Prefer Object.create for predictable performance. Though classes look like classical OOP, they create methods on personClass.prototype just like constructor functions did. The prototype chain is still the core mechanism. This short demo contrasts creating methods per instance versus sharing them on the prototype, a key performance consideration. Creating methods in the constructor makes a separate function for each instance wasteful if you create many objects. Put methods on the prototype to share a single function. Next, a strong caution. Don't modify built-in prototypes in shared code. It can break other libraries and cause security issues. Changing array.prototype or object.prototype is called prototype pollution and can cause subtle bugs or conflicts. Keep your code local or use utility wrappers instead. Here are alternatives to deep inheritance. We'll show mixins and delegation for composing behavior. Composition and mixins let you share behaviors across different objects without rigid class trees. They're great for small, focused capabilities like CanFly or CanSwim. Finally, we'll show useful inspection tools to debug prototypes and properties in DevTools or Code and Run. Useful functions. Object.getPrototypeOf, obj, to inspect prototype, obj.hasOwnProperty, prop, to check own properties, object.getOwnPropertyNames, proto, to list prototype members. In DevTools use console.dir, to expand the object and view the prototype chain. A quick summary, when to prefer prototypes and when to choose composition. Use prototypes when you have many similar objects that share behavior. Prototypes are memory efficient and idiomatic in JS. Prefer composition and small capability objects when you need flexibility and to avoid fragile class hierarchies. Most modern code uses a mix, prototypes for core instance behavior, composition for cross-cutting features. Wrap up, repeat the core points briefly. To recap, JavaScript uses prototypes for inheritance. Objects delegate to prototypes, constructor functions and ES6 class map to the same prototype system. Use prototype methods to share behavior, avoid polluting built-in prototypes, prefer composition when convenient, and inspect prototypes with the built-in tools. Practice these patterns in the exercises on JavaScript Ninjas. Try the interactive exercises right now. https://javascriptninjas.com/learn/chapter/prototypes. Replace prototypes with the real chapter ID in your platform. If you liked this lesson, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what prototype pattern you'd like to see next.